Trey Lewellen here with Unstoppable Core number 27, and today I'm going to talk about that was my shoe. I'm Trey Lewellen, and over the last 6 months, I've hacked over 40 top-performing funnels by some of the most elite online companies in the world. And the best part, I recorded everything. Join me as I uncover the deepest secrets in the online world and reveal how to cash in using their techniques. Discover it all by visiting MrOnIt.com/masterclass today. So real quick, that was my shoe. So I gotta tell you a really funny story. And what I want you guys to take away from this video is just what exists out there in the world today. Like the businesses that are out there performing and making money is just absurd, but it's the little things that you can walk away with that's just amazing, okay? So, talking to my neighbor, and it's kind of one of those traditional things like, hey, my name's Trey, what do you what's your name, what do you do? And then we really got to talking, and I spent the next hour just fascinated with what he told me. And that's what he said. I said, how do you make a living? And he goes, well, what we do is we sell shoes to Africa. So we sell shoes from America to Africa. I was like, okay, well, that's kind of cool. How do you do that? And he goes, well, it's kind of a cool thing. Because what we do is we go with the saying, right? Someone's junk is always someone else's treasure. And he's definitely taken that to the next level by a large volume amount. So what he does is he goes to a very familiar store. It's called Goodwill. And here in St. Louis, many other states as well, we have one of those facilities where they all kind of come together. So basically all the surrounding cities dump into this one headquarters of Goodwill here in St. Louis. And he has a contact there that he calls, and these guys get, think of all the stuff they get at Goodwill. There's a lot of good stuff that they can probably sell in the racks, but then there's also stuff that they cannot. They have to discard it. Well, here's the thing is, think about that, right? So not only is someone's junk, someone's treasure inside Goodwill on the racks, but then Goodwill receives stuff that's junk to them that they're like, I don't know if I want to do anything with this. But that junk is someone else's treasure. That's a cool concept. So think about that. Now what he does is he contacts those guys and he goes, I want the junk of the junk. Right? I want the junk that you guys aren't even going to touch, you want to get rid of, you want to sell off, I'll buy it from you, okay? And so what he does is he contacts them, he says, I want pairs of shoes, not heels, but sneakers. They can have, barely holes in them, maybe really worn, doesn't matter. And so what they do is Goodwill sells them to him for 25 cents a pair. That's a pretty cheap pair of shoes. So 25 cents a pair. And then here's the cool thing, is they have these potato bags, and so they put them in bags as well. So not only is Goodwill doing all the labor and selling them the shoes, but they're also putting them in the bags. And they just come and stuff his truck, and then he takes his truck and puts them in a big old ship inside a container. And inside this container, right, so this ship's across the sea, but there is a lot of shoes in here. Let me just tell you how much. So what he does is he sends these to Goodwill. He pushes over 40,000 pairs of shoes. Okay, 40,000 pairs of shoes fits in one container, and that ships to Africa. Well, how much does Africa buy it from? Well, Africa buys the shoes for 75 cents a pair. And then what they have is what Africa does with them is Africa distributes all these shoes to their peddlers, right? People who are on the streets with tables, and they sell the shoes for $1, so they're making 25 cents profit, but he made 50 cents profit. You guys are already doing the math here real quick. That is $20,000, right? $20,000 per container. Oh, did I mention he ships 2 containers every month? That's a cool business. So now you're like, holy smokes, that is absolutely amazing. But then I asked him another question. I said, so you're doing shoes. What about other items? He goes, it's really cool. There's a guy who goes and grabs all the belts from Goodwill and ships them all over the country. There's another lady who, what she does is she ships teddy bears, stuffed animals. So she's really good with that. And that's a pretty cool fun fact. So here's just take away from this, right? Like, look at what's happening here. This is absolutely amazing. This is happening outside the lines of the traditional JOBs and business aspects. But it's like, who would have known like this is happening out there? Someone's junk of junk is a treasure and is pulling $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month. Just $10,000 a month would make anybody happy, let alone the amounts that they're pushing into this new world that was unknown until this video. So take away that. I would love to hear what your thoughts on this are. Maybe you knew about this. Maybe this is new to you. Maybe this is like, holy smokes, this is such a great opportunity. I'm going to use this something like this in my business. So there's a place below this video. I want you to see your comments. Tell me what you're thinking. Tell me your thoughts about it. Tell me what you got from this. And what we do is every month we go and pick someone who comments out of there and give away a free year subscription to our masterclass. How cool is that? So again, my name's Trey Lewellen. I appreciate you watching this week's video on Unstoppable Core, and I look forward to seeing you next week.